Hi guys, good morning. Anvay here. Welcome to my video. Today I'm getting a chance to drive the new Hyundai Aura, the replacement of the old Accent. The word Aura means creating an ambience by a presence of a person or a thing. For us, it is the car right here. So what type of impression does it create? We are going to check that in this video. But first, we are going to take a look at the car from the outside and inside. We are going to see what's underneath the chassis, and then we are going to go for a thorough drive. So without further ado, let's take a look at the car. So from the front end, I can say that the car looks really aggressive. The way the front grille is sculpted below these projector headlights and these twin boomerang shaped DRLs make the car look absolutely ferocious. Next to that, you have these chrome surrounded fog lights which are placed on these triangular vents which are actually non-functional. In the middle, you have the hexagonal and the rhombus shaped meshed grille which provides air to the radiator and the condenser. How to differentiate the Aura from the i10 Neos? This additional DRL will give you the answer. Since we are at the front, the car width is just short of 1.7 meters. Now coming to the side, you can see that there is an intermediate silhouette that starts right from the tail light and stops right here. That same silhouette is continued again from the rear door and goes all the way back to the back. Then in the middle, you also have this additional line introduced, and at the side you will also get the turn indicators. Since we are at the side, the car is over 1.5 meters tall, just short of 4 meters in total length, and the wheelbase is about 2.5 meters, and the ground clearance of the car is 16.5 centimeters. Now coming to the rear, I can say the rear design looks really clean and subtle. You are greeted with this beautiful Z-shaped LED tail lights. Connecting those tail lights is a chrome member, and you will get the car name beneath the Hyundai logo. Obviously, parking sensors is standard for all the variants which you buy. On the higher variants, you will also get a rear parking camera. Next to the number plate, you will also get light deflectors on each sides. Now since we are at the back, let's just open up the boot. Opening the boot, you can see that the boot size is very huge. It is 402 liters. And underneath, you will get the spare tire with the mechanical jack. So now we have done a walk around from the outside. Now let's take a look at the inside. Now having a seat inside, like the rear end, the interior of the car also feels really clean and premium. The quality of the materials being used inside are really nice and amplify the luxury provided by Hyundai car to you. This really creates a very comforting and soothing atmosphere. These contrast colors which have been used inside really give it a very premium look. Talking about my sitting position, I can say it is reasonably comfortable, although I would prefer to have some slight shoulder support, but still the sitting position is very comfortable. For the driver's seat, I also get the seat height adjustment function which can give me a very clear idea about the road. And talking about the thigh support in the car is also very nice. And for the front headroom, it is also pretty decent. The front visibility or the overall visibility in the car is also quite nice. Now taking an up close look, you can observe that the infotainment controls are mounted directly on the steering wheel. On the higher variants, you will get the cruise control functions which will be placed right here. Behind the steering wheel, you will get the controls for the headlights and the wipers. And talking about the instrument cluster, it is an analog cum digital instrument cluster where the tachometer is analog and the speedometer and the gear shift indicator is digital. At the right, you will get this beautiful turbine shaped AC vents. Underneath, you have the engine start stop button and the headlight leveler just underneath that. At the door, you will get the controls for the power windows and the mirror adjustment. Underneath that, you will have this huge bottle holder which can hold 1 liter of bottle. And this bottle holders are placed on each and every door. So total there are 4 bottle holders. Next to that, you have the speakers. On the top variants, you get the Archimedes sound system. And the car has a total of 4 speakers. Coming to the center, You are greeted with this 8-inch touchscreen which supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Underneath, you have the controls for the auto climate control. Then for the top variant, you also get wireless charging and 12-volt charging socket with connectivity USB with the charging USB next to it. Behind, you get 2 cup holders and a small space next to the handbrake as well. At the passenger side, you again get some space above the glove box which has cooling function in it. About the safety, the car has 2 airbags, one on the steering wheel and one on the passenger side. Now having a seat in the rear, the comfort levels are really nice. The way the seats are slightly pushed back make your spine in a pretty straight position. For my height of 5 feet 8 inches, I have more than sufficient amount of legroom and headroom. Talking about what's offered in the back, you get the rear AC vent with a 12-volt charging socket. And on the seats, you get the ISOFIX mounts. In the center, you get the armrest with the cup holders mounted on it. Behind me is the sliding headrest which I can adjust according to my height. So overall, the sitting positions, the comfort levels in the car are really good. And the dashboard and the overall quality of the materials is really nice. After seeing the inside and the outside, now let's take a look at the drivetrain of the vehicle. The Hyundai Aura is equipped with a 1.2-liter petrol engine making 83 PS power at 6000 RPM and 116 Newton meters of torque at 4000 RPM. In total, there are 4 engine options: the 1.2-liter petrol, diesel, petrol CNG and the 1-liter turbo petrol. The power produced is transmitted through the 5-speed manual transmission or the automated manual transmission. The 5-speed manual transmission is available for all the engine options and the automated manual transmission for the 1.2-liter petrol and diesel options. This power and torque is transmitted to the front wheels. The engine is mounted on the front axle and transmitting the power to the front wheels make the drivetrain layout called front engined front wheel drive. Talking about the tires, they measure 175/60 15 inches and the spare tire measures 165/70 14 inches. These are bolted to steel disc brakes in the front and drum brakes in the rear. The disc brake assembly is connected to the MacPherson strut suspension in the front, while the drum brake assembly is connected to the torsion beam axle suspension. Well, we have seen how the car looks from the outside and inside and what's underneath the chassis. I have set myself up and now let's go for a thorough drive. So the initial impressions are that I have gotten acquainted to the car in a reasonable amount of time. To some extent, there are a few blind spots and I cannot see the hood. However, with the driver seat height adjustment, that really helps me out. And the driver rear view monitor and the front daytime running lights give me a very clear idea of where I am in the bumper to bumper traffic and hence amplifies my acquaintance. The Aura gets a BS6 compliant engine and the performance levels in the city conditions or either on highway conditions feel very much satisfactory to me, and the car succeeds in giving you the power boost when needed and also succeeds in giving you the efficiency when you are cruising in city conditions or on highways. The engine, being naturally aspirated, does not take any time to accelerate, and I can tell you that this engine absolutely loves acceleration. Now as I put my foot down, that smart automatic transmission will work it out and give you that power boost which you want, and still will succeed to give you an exhilarating performance, although not being a turbocharged engine. For turbochargers, obviously they need some time to spool up and deliver that power to you. However, in naturally aspirated engines, that is not the case. Once you put your foot down, you will get the power with an instant. Furthermore, since this 1.2-liter engine is a 4-cylinder engine, there is no such issue of balancing or vibrations, as the 4-cylinder engines are balanced by nature and are in equilibrium. So there are no such vibrations coming into the cabin, and I am having a very fantastic driving experience. Now talking about the transmission, as I mentioned, you get the 5-speed manual or a 5-speed automated manual transmission. Being an automated manual transmission, you can obviously expect the gear shifts to be not as smooth as the CVT or a dual clutch transmission. However, the AMT is shifting the gears really nicely and won't give you or you won't feel that much of a jerk when you are cruising. Moreover, once you put your foot down, the car will reach up to red line and will stay in the same gear till you release the throttle. Once you take your foot off the gas, it will automatically select the appropriate gear with respect to its speed. Hence, the word Smart Auto certainly suits this transmission. This gearbox is calibrated to give you the highest possible efficiency. Talking about the efficiency, the ARAI claimed efficiency for the petrol engine is 20.5 kilometers, which is really huge. And for diesels, it is even more. It is 24.5 kilometers per liter. That is really nice. In the city conditions, I can expect the petrol to give about 16 kilometers per liter, and for the diesel engines, I can expect the efficiency to be around 20 kilometers per liter. This automated manual transmission is also available in the diesel engines, which also provides a great comfort and inclines you to buy the car rather than going to its competitors, because Hyundai not only offers you a BS6 petrol and a diesel engines, but you also get the automatic gearbox options for both these variants, which really is a plus point for the car. Now speaking about the brakes, the combination of the disc and drum brakes really provide me a very much satisfying stopping power. If the car would have been equipped with the disc brakes, that would have unnecessarily increased the cost and the car would have to be priced at a higher price range. So two things have been achieved. First is cost efficiency, and second is a very satisfying braking power. I don't think the car needs disc brakes at the rear, as the stopping power from these brakes is really nice. Being in 2020, and special thanks to the government, the anti-lock braking system and the electronic brake distribution is going to be standard for all the variants which you buy. Now talking about the steering, it is an electric assist rack and pinion power steering which is given by the company to you, and I can say it's really smooth. To some extent you can say it is not so much direct and slightly lags when you are turning. However, in the city conditions you won't feel that much of a lag, and having that much of a smoothness, you will absolutely love to maneuver the car in the bumper to bumper traffic or through some tight and twisty hard roads as well. About the turning radius, the car has a turning radius of almost 5 meters, and taking a U-turn won't be much of a problem. In very narrow lanes, I can say the 3-point turn would be definite as per the conditions. Now talking about the suspensions, I can say the suspensions handle the bumps and undulations really nicely. At higher speeds, you will feel the stiffness as they will transmit the bumps into the seats. However, in the city conditions where you are normally cruising, these suspensions are set to give you a very satisfying or more than satisfying comfort. Let's see if I feel the same in the rear as well. Now like the front, the comfort levels in the rear at low speeds are really great. At higher speeds, you will feel the bumps as you sit pretty close to the suspension and the wheel arch. Furthermore, talking about the AC, I can say it definitely succeeds in cooling the cabin at a very high speeds. The car has a first-in-segment technology called as the Eco Coating technology, which you will get in the higher variants. What is it basically? It is basically that it will avoid the unnecessary bacteria which is formed on the radiator pipes coming into the AC cabin, and hence you won't feel any odor or any other pungent smell coming into the car. Now as I mentioned, there is really a sufficient amount of leg room, so I can easily stretch out my legs. Furthermore, I can just put my hand on this armrest and enjoy a very comfortable ride. Now having that armrest in the rear, I can say the person who will be sitting in the middle can have a comfortable drive for short journeys. On long journeys, 4 people can have a very fantastic and comfortable ride. To see how the car handles our roads, I took the car through some potholes and the speed breakers, and I have to say it managed those undulations quite well. The ground clearance provided is certainly satisfactory to handle the bumps and potholes at reasonable speed. With that said guys, I am back, and the impressions which the Aura has created are comfort, quite a lot of features and driving pleasure. If you wish to achieve these impressions after you finish a drive in a car, then Hyundai Aura is definitely the car for you. Now speaking about the price, the petrol variants are priced at 5.79 lakhs to 8.54 lakhs ex-showroom, and the diesel variants are priced at 7.73 lakhs to 9.03 lakhs ex-showroom. Speaking about the maintenance, the car needs to be serviced once every year or after 10,000 kilometers. The petrol variants will cost you about 6,500 to 7,500 rupees, and the diesel variants will cost you about 8 to 9,000 rupees. That's it for the Hyundai Aura then guys. If you like this video, kindly hit that like and subscribe button, because like and subscription equals motivation for me to create more content for you guys. I'm going to end this video and I will catch up with you guys again in the next video with a new car. Bis dann, auf Wiedersehen.